Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Hope everybody's having a fantastic little day. It has been kind of a fantastic little day, or a little big day, or a fantastic big day, however you want to define it, whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah. I decided to go live earlier today than usual because there's lots to talk about, and um, and I do want to talk about lots that is going on. I will also be live later on David Wood's channel, so we'll be there as well. But right now, there is a lot of stuff to talk about. Garpuffy Fish says, I haven't seen AP stream this early before. I did actually stream this early before in the past, just not very recently. So that's that. That's that. That is that. Just want to quickly check up on the news of the general of the Quds force because there's news that he has been taken out, which is very significant news. Want to quickly verify that fully and truly. Yep, it's confirmed. Although there's no official announcement from Iran, I think, but it's been confirmed pretty much. All right, so good stuff happening. Good stuff happening. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? All right, so yesterday, as we were live, Israel shamelessly decided to interrupt our live stream plan, and finally carry out all their strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, military facilities, and all that. So they could have waited until we were done with the live stream. They unfortunately did it exactly when we were live streaming and when we were supposed to talk about Tommy Robinson. It was interrupted, however. We will get back to the Tommy Robinson topic some other time, probably tonight, and so on. I don't know. The Jews didn't want us to talk about Tommy Robinson, you see. So lots of news are happening. I'm going to quickly go through some of the news that I have been following and also shared on Twitter, and some things that I said there and also additionally want to say and want to point out, because I think that there are very, very important details here in this entire conflict, this battle, this operation that Israel is doing as we speak. And there's a lot of propaganda going on, a lot of propaganda from the usual suspects, the usual, pro-Iran, pro-Russia, pro this and that, who are spouting a lot of false propaganda, who are defending Iran, who are trying to accuse both America and Israel of being the bad guys here, and so on. And here's the thing, especially right now with what is going on right now, it doesn't matter what you think about Israel. It really shouldn't matter what you think about Israel. What matters right now is what Israel is doing is completely justified. Completely justified. Completely justified. It is war is not good. People dying, people being killed is not good. Never believed in it. Although over the last few years, I did become a little bit ruthless about that kind of stuff. However, in this case, this is not a war that Israel or America or that some side that we are supporting started for no reason. It is a war that has been started by the Islamic regime of Iran a long time ago, and that Israel is now bringing to an end. So if we actually want to if we actually want to hope for peace, then we should hope that Israel's operation here succeeds completely, and Iran's Islamic regime is completely crippled and beheaded and castrated in the end. And the best thing would be for the people of Iran, for the brave, good people of Iran who had their freedoms taken away, to seize this opportunity and to go for regime change, to take down the Islamic regime of Iran and finally turn Iran into a proper country where they can have their own free nation one more time. The Islamic regime has been nothing but a cancer to the Middle East and to the world, and to allies, and so on. So let us look at a few things happening right there. Wars tend to harden people. That's what they do. That's what they do. Is this M.M. Kolbe next to the Robert Spencer's book? Yes, it is indeed. You spotted that right. I first of want to play a few things here to give people an idea of what kind of government is in charge of Iran. So here is this was, I believe, just several months ago. Let me see. Let me catch this from memory. May 18th. Yeah, pretty sure it happened on May 17th. They have the date on there right there. You can see here what kind of sentiments the Islamic regime of Iran pushes.
در این سفر رئیس جمهور آمریکا به منطقه مطرح شد لایق جواب دادن نیست اصلا.
Look at these. They look like they're just robots. I mean, they're just robots chanting a slogan, raising their hands like weirdos. They're simply robots who are women to the left side, men to the right side, with a barrier in between them. They prepared for this in advance, and they simply chant whatever slogans they are told to chant. Death to those, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Khamenei is the leader. Death to those who oppose the rule of the jurisprudent. This is, by the way, I should probably invite Armin on again for some time. He's probably sleeping right now. I don't know. But this is, by the way, directly Iranian official policy. The language used here, death to those who oppose the rule of the jurisprudent. So according to the Iran's government ideology, state ideology, the leader, the supreme leader of Iran, in this case Khamenei, is supposed to be the leader and the judge, the jurisprudent of the Muslim community and of the entire world until the coming of the Mahdi, who is the savior of the Shia Muslims. Armin is on vacation. Okay, well, good, good for him. So. The Islamic Ayatollah is supposed to be the jurisprudent in charge, who is temporarily taking the position of leading the Muslim Ummah and preparing the grounds for the coming of the Mahdi. This is basically what it is. And anyone who opposes him, whether they are states, governments, non-organization, individuals, or organizations outside of Iran, whether they all those who oppose him are considered enemies, not only of the regime, not only of the leader, but also of the religion altogether. So this is directly their language. This is a death cult. This is followed then by death to America, death to England. The funny thing when I shared this earlier was why England? What did England do? And I agree with them, like I understand death to America, death to Israel, but why England, man? England is like right now an Islamic proxy. Like there's nothing to condemn about it. England is basically a lesser Islamic country right now, so I'm not sure why they're condemning England. England is doing all the service. But it is tradition to say death to America, death to England, death to Israel. Look at this guy here. Look at this. Look at his face. This is creepy, man. Look at this guy. Look at these brain dead, hypnotized people here. Death to the hypocrites and infidels. Death to Israel. Marbar munafiqin wa kuffar. Literally, what they're saying here is directly translated. Death to the hypocrites and infidels. So death to the munafiqin, which would be in the religious sense, those who, act like they are Muslims, but who are actually double-faced traitors who weaken Islam from within. In the Iranian Islamic sense, it is also, of course, anyone who opposes the Iranian regime and who claims to be a Muslim is considered a hypocrite, a heretic. And infidels, the kuffar, they're literally saying the word, the kuffar. This is in an Islamic sense, all the non-Muslims, all those who deny Islam and who oppose Islam. Followed by Marbar Israel, death to Israel. Anyone defending the Islamic regime of Iran online, on Twitter, will abstain from talking about any of this kind of stuff here. They will never address this kind of stuff. They will completely ignore it. When you bring it up to them, they will act like they have never seen it, because they serve certain interests, whether voluntarily or for financial reasons. They want to act like Iran is the victim here. Iran just wants to exist, Iran just wants peace, Iran is just standing up on behalf of the oppressed people and all that. No, Iran is the evil one here. Iran is the evil in this case. Always have been. In fact, everybody knows I'm not very fond of Islam and Islamic regimes, but Iran is probably the worst of them all at the moment.
اینقدر سطح حرف پایینه که مایه.
So I don't want to listen to this whole speech here, but this is basically in response to America, as Trump and as America urges them to strike a nuclear deal, which is also very relevant to what is happening right now. Trump gave the Iranian regime 60 days. 60 days to come up with a proper solution and with a nuclear deal, and said, if you don't come up with a nuclear deal, then I can't help you anymore. I don't know what to tell you. Then you'll have to deal with Israel. And guess what Iran did? They didn't come up with a nuclear deal. They defied it and said, death to America, death to England, death to Israel. Now they're getting it. Now they are getting it. Mindless minions. Trump said that he wanted to use power for peace. He's lying.
استفاده کنه. دروغ گفت. ایشون و مسئولان آمریکایی، دولت‌های آمریکا از قدرت استفاده کردن برای قتل عام غزه، برای جنگ.
Now he talks about Gaza. Very important context here. Iran is very well known to have been one of the perpetrators of the October 7 massacre. The October 7 massacre, the October 7 attempted genocide of Israelis. So they caused the current increase in tensions and the downfall of the so-called axis of resistance. Now he's complaining about a massacre. What a hypocrite. We will increase our power and the power of our country every day, whether the enemies like it or not, inshallah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Khamenei is the leader. You just said death to America, death to England, death to Israel. But now again? What is this, man? People that really have nothing else to say? I can't find my goat. I was going to imitate the noises here, but I can't find my goat. Where's my goat, man? I wonder if David stole it. Anyway. Isn't it funny? There's a whole speech and half of it is just them shouting mindless slogans. Again, I thought I was exaggerating, but here, we're done. By the efforts of our nation, America should leave the region and leave it will. Allah Akbar, Khamenei is the leader. Death to those who oppose the rule of the jurisprudence. Death to America, death to England, death to the hypocrites, death to the infidels. The Zionist regime, which is the lethal cancerous tumor of the region. You're speaking about himself. And then here again, death to Israel, death to Israel. Like, we learned nothing from this entire speech at all. It's just him saying two words and then yes, and today we want to tell America to leave. Yes, and we will come together and teach them a lesson. Allahu Akbar. This is the whole speech, man. What is this? This is so ridiculous. America will receive what they're asking for. Literally, this is what's happening here. Terrible speech. Terrible speech. I don't like this speech. I give it a 1 out of 10. Okay. So, found my goat, by the way. Found my goat. So, this is what Iran was doing while Trump was telling them, you guys better come up with a nuclear deal or otherwise you're going to get it. And they said, no, we're not going to get it. We will destroy America and England and Israel. And then the time passed by and now they're getting it. Meanwhile, their propagandists are doing dumb stuff like this. This Megatron account, not sure what kind of idiot is running this account, but Netanyahu flew to Greece. There were earlier claims that, what the hell? This is showing a flight back from Greece, by the way. Earlier, there were reports by these pro-Iran accounts or pro-Islamic regime accounts that Netanyahu fled to Greece. Why in the world would Netanyahu be fleeing, man? What is Netanyahu exactly fleeing from? From angry words by Khamenei? From Khamenei crying? The propagandists are not very smart here. Dave Smith said Israel has launched a dangerous preemptive war of aggression. It should be condemned by the U.S. government and U.S. citizens alike. Look, I don't think that I can actually ever sit down and have a debate with Dave Smith, but people should pick this up and should annoy the heck out of him and bring it up to him whenever they have a conversation with him. He just used the word preemptive here. Israel has launched a dangerous preemptive war of aggression. Preemptive attack means that you are doing it in order to prevent the other side from attacking you or the other side from carrying out their attack first. That's it. So Dave Smith just admitted here that that Iran was going to attack first, so Israel attacked them instead. And yet he calls them aggressor. This is the kind of idiots that that have become famous over the last few years, commenting on the conflict, but they don't even know anything about conflict. They don't know anything about conflict. They don't know anything about wars. They don't know anything at all. This guy is a comedian who sits down and becomes a commentator on politics and on geopolitics. He doesn't know anything at all. This is embarrassing, man. Here's another idiot, Blair White. No more American men and women sentenced to death in a desert hole. She clearly doesn't know what Iran is. It's not a desert hole. Also, no American men and women are being sent over there. Now, this is one of the popular talking points that some of these gropers and others come up with, who say, I don't want to die for Iran. I don't want to die for Israel. Nobody's dying for Israel, man. Since yesterday, we have watched Israel carry out a brutal operation. As soon as it was carried out, as soon as the first wave was carried out, Iran confirmed that Israel had killed Hossein Salami. Yes, Iran confirmed that Israel had killed Hossein Salami, who is in charge of IRGC's, who is the IRGC's commander-in-chief. Sorry, was IRGC's commander-in-chief. So the Salami guy has been killed. They ate the salami. Gholam Ali Rashid, Armed Forces Strategic Commander, guy in charge of nuclear project, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, and so on. We have confirmations far more than this. Let's get to the last things that I shared here. just to catch up with that. So here's one thing I posted, which I think people should be aware of. Iran has a branch called Quds Force. Quds is the Islamic name of Jerusalem. The purpose of this force is to wage proxy wars, engage in covert operations, and subvert other nations and their governments. And Israel just took out their head. I'm not kidding, not exaggerating. Quds Force is one of the branches of Israel's of Iran's army. Yeah, in fact, you can find it right here. You can find it right here. There's the Wikipedia article. Isn't it beautiful? The Quds Force. The Quds Force is one of 5 branches of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, specializing in unconventional warfare and military intelligence operations. They have been designated a terrorist organization. They are responsible for extraterritorial operations, military intelligence, black ops, and so on. They're named Quds Force. Quds stands for Jerusalem. Look, Jerusalem Force. This is literally a branch in the Iranian military established for the sole purpose of waging proxy wars, like recruiting Hezbollah, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, the Houthi movement, and so on. And through covert operations, try to engage in the subversion of other nations in the Middle East and elsewhere. So this is literally a terrorist organization that is out there trying to subvert and cause chaos in order to prepare the world for the revolution, for the global revolution and the coming of their Mahdi. This is a death cult that has such a force. Today, we are receiving the news that the head of this force has been taken out. Let's see. Report. So here's the Times of Israel. It's also being confirmed currently on the New York Times or something. My window is stuck here. I don't know what's happening. But so report, head of Iran's elite Quds force killed in Israeli strike, they say. What the heck just happened? Something got stuck here, and I'm completely lost right now. Here, all right, yes, now I got it. Yeah, something is wrong with my browser. I can't move it. Report, head of Iran's elite Quds force killed in Israeli strike. The commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard's elite Quds force, the one that we just talked about, General Ismail Qani, was killed in Israel's ongoing attack against Iran, the New York Times reports, citing unnamed Iranian sources. Qani was in charge of Iran's proxies in the region. These people were also in charge of or behind much of the operation of October 7, for example, and other terrorist attacks that happen in the Middle East and elsewhere. This is a force of Iran that is responsible for proxy warfare, waging war against Israel, for example, or against other nations without officially waging war. This is where the whole narrative of who started the war is also very important. Iran right now acts as if there was an aggression done against them. Iran acts as if they didn't initiate it. They are just defending themselves. They're lying, and they know that they're lying, because what they're doing is this. They use one of their forces in the military in order to wage proxy wars, meaning using lesser terrorist organizations in different countries, such as Hezbollah and the Palestinian territories, to wage war against Israel, to kill Israeli personnel, to try and attack and cripple Israel and all that. When then Israel finally strikes back and kills and takes out Iranian military and nuclear leadership, they act like they're completely innocent and Israel is the aggressor. Everyone who knows a little bit about this conflict knows exactly what's going on here. It is the Islamic regime of Iran that has been waging this war for years now, and now they're getting it. Now they're getting the war that they have asked for. And they can't handle it. They can't handle the heat. In fact, Khamenei earlier, I want to look at this in a second. But Khamenei earlier said the following: With this crime, the Zionist regime has prepared for itself a bitter, painful fate, which it will definitely see. It's always barking, no action. Always talk and no action. Do you have anything besides words? The funny thing about this is 4.6 million views in 14 hours, 57,000 likes. I'm really curious. I wish I could still see what kind of people like and spread this kind of stuff here. Like, do people actually believe this guy's words? Do they actually believe Israel will regret what they have done today? Number one, they haven't done a bad thing. They have done a very, very good thing. They have done what was necessary. This is literally self-defense. Number two, Iran is not going to retaliate. Iran doesn't even have the means to retaliate. Iran is currently at the mercy of Israel. There are Israeli aircraft flying over Iraq, flying over Iran, and Iran is basically, the Islamic regime of Iran is shivering and waiting. They try to retaliate with drone strikes and this and that, and the drones are taken out live on camera as we speak. The last time that they said they would be carrying out a huge retaliation, nothing happened. They killed like a chicken or a goat or something. Let's see. The Israeli military unit responsible for issuing public guidelines just issued a warning instructing the people to stay near shelters. The same alert it issued overnight when Israel began its first strikes in Iran. So, despite the low threat coming from Iran, Israel has instructed all their citizens and all their people to stay inside. In fact, there were reports that so they tell people to go inside, to stay in their homes, to not go outside, to seek shelter, and stay there until further notice. That's what Israel is telling their own citizens. And in the West Bank, they actually did something like issuing direct prohibitions against going outside, and told people to stay inside to further control the situation. So they are taking safety measures for their own population as much as possible, although there's probably not a big threat coming from Iran. Netanyahu said we all need to assume there will be a counterattack. That said, Israel did not stop with their operations. The operations are still going on. In fact, I think the last update was that that the current operation might take several weeks. So, at first, it was said it will take days. The most recent update is that it might take at least 2 weeks or so. So this is very, very significant. We have heard for several years now, for several months now, that that Israel is preparing something against Iran as a result of everything that Iran did, and I think now we're doing it. Now we're experiencing it as we speak. As a result of this, Iran's capabilities should be crippled. They should be crippled. I want to look at a few results here. Iran now confirms that the chief of staff of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran was killed tonight by Israel. He was the number 2 in Iran after Ayatollah Khamenei. This is also, once again, big news. Very big news. I hope, or I wish somebody put out a list of everyone who is confirmed killed now. Let me see if Wikipedia has it gathered here. Everyone confirmed killed. Unofficial numbers. Let's see. Casualties, notable deaths. Okay, so we have one list appearing on Wikipedia. Still need to look at other sources. These are only confirmed deaths, I believe. But so here is a list of deaths so far resulting from Israel's precision operation. Hossein Salami, the guy with the salami with the zabiba, Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has been killed. Commander-in-Chief of the Israeli army is dead, has been taken out. Mohammed Bagheri, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, has been taken out. Amir Ali Hajizadeh, Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Air Force, Aerospace Force has been taken out. Ghulam Ali Rashid, commander of the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, the United Combatant Command Headquarters of the Iranian Armed Forces under direct command of the General Staff. This guy has been taken out. Admiral, political advisor of the Supreme Leader of Iran, Ali Shamkhani, he has been taken out. He is dead. Ismail Qani, this is probably the second biggest on this list, has been taken out. He was the head of the Quds Force. People might remember his prior to this guy, his predecessor was, what's his name? Qasem Soleimani, who died, who was killed in a strike carried out by Donald Trump. Now he's dead too. They fall one after the other. Faridun Abbasi, a nuclear scientist. Mohammed Mehdi Tehranji, also a nuclear scientist. These are only, as far as I understand it, the confirmed news or the confirmed deaths. There are still tags on other or claims of other significant targets being taken out, but these are very, very much confirmed. Let's.
First, Caitlin, something I just heard from a senior Israeli official who says that according to Israeli assessments, there are very high chances that the entire Iranian general staff, including the head of the Iranian general staff of the Iranian military, and several senior Iranian nuclear scientists were all eliminated in the Israeli strikes tonight. I hear that again.
So,
from a senior Israeli official who says that several senior top Iranian military commanders, including the head of the general staff of the Iranian military and senior nuclear scientists, have all been targeted in those strikes. And according to IDF assessments, there's a high chance that they've been eliminated.
I mean, that is really striking intelligence if that is.
The funny thing is, it seems that Israel is the only one that actually can go through with this kind of stuff. Breaking intel suggests all of Iran's general staff, including the head of the military, were eliminated in tonight's strikes by Israel, per CNN. It seems that again and again, Israel is the only one that actually can go through with such an operation of preparing this. There are many reports. I'm not sure what to trust right now, but there are reports that Israel actually infiltrated Iran and set up a drone base inside Iran, with which they used during these strikes to carry out these operations. There has been a very there has been a very, very strong intelligence efficiency that happened inside Iran, where many different assets and many different agents probably were used to track down everyone and to strike them where they are. There's one image that I shared on the thumbnail. I think maybe I tweeted about it as well. Let me see. Which is, so there are some. This is funny. Hit them, Israel. Iranians are behind you. This is in Iran, by the people of Iran. One good thing to know. Oh, here is, by the way, before I continue. So here is the son of the former king of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, who is by some called the prince, by some called the king of Iran. He himself says he doesn't want a monarchy. He wants to bring true democracy to Iran. But lots of people, lots of the resistance inside Iran actually hopes to bring this guy back and put him and make him the first leader of a free Iranian government, free Iranian nation. He said the following: in their reckless pursuit of nuclear weapons, Ali Khamenei and his incompetent and criminal thugs have dragged Iran into a war and put the Iranian people in harm's way. They are responsible. But the regime is weak and divided. It could fall. As I have told my compatriots, Iran is yours and yours to reclaim. I am with you. Stay strong and we will win. I have told the military, police, and security forces, break from the regime. Honor the oath of any honorable serviceman. Join the people. To the international community, do not throw yet another lifeline to this dying terrorist regime. That's what the Iranian people are asking, and that's in the best interest of peace. Long live Iran, Reza Pahlavi. Absolutely, 100%, word for word, true and based. This is the guy that the people of Iran actually want as leader instead of the rotten, foul Islamic theocracy, the mullahs and the poisonous devils that are leading Iran into hell. When you look at the elections, you see that the majority of people in Iran do not vote anymore because they have no trust, no interest in elections. They don't want the Islamic regime anymore. So I can only hope, like many Iranians that I've spoken to, that that the Islamic regime falls and that this guy comes and takes over, or that in some other way they establish freedom for themselves. The time of the Islamists oppressing the people should come to an end. Here's, of course, Keir Starmer. The reports of these strikes are concerning, and we urge all parties to step back and reduce tensions urgently. Escalation serves no one in the region. Stability in the Middle East must be the priority, and we are engaging partners to de-escalate. Now is the time for restraint, calm, and a return to diplomacy. And by the way, if you want to take my home, you can come here and take it as well. And if you want to rape some more British people, it's all right. You can do that. We've got nothing against it as long as we make peace. Trump tells Iran to make a deal or it's war. Trump says the following. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know. This is probably a terrible Trump voice, man. Anticipated or were told. Okay, I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. The funny thing is, this line here, they didn't know what was about to happen. I have a hard time believing that, man. I feel like the Iranian Islamic regime knew very well what Israel is capable of doing, but they do this whole ridiculous, dumb stuff anyway. That's what I don't understand. They can't be that stupid that they continue barking and barking and barking and getting bombed, barking and getting castrated, barking and getting beheaded, but they still continue. I don't understand, man. It must be some very severe case of mental retardation or something. I don't know. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it. Now he's quoting Nike, as some people call it. Before it is too late, God bless y'all. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Mr. President. I appreciate that. Mr. President. Furthermore, oh yeah. So here are these two beautiful creatures, Jackson Hinkle. He posts this poorly done image of Netanyahu and Hitler. You could literally put any face on here and it would look just as similar. It's the same thing. Then Jake Shields comes in, and dude, Hitler is the guy who actually stood up to these demons. By demons, he's actually talking about the Jews. the Jews. He's not talking about Israel. He's not talking about Zionists. He's directly talking about Jews. Then again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much I can blame this guy. I mean, he's literally retarded. The guy is not capable of forming complex thoughts, so I can't really blame him for anything. Hitler is the guy who actually stood up to these demons. Why put something so stupid? And Jackson then says, Hitler was a Zionist. And the Nazis minted a coin with them. Not to mention Hitler was funded by Wall Street and City of London banksters. Learn the history. These two guys are like are the dumbest people on earth arguing against each other here. It's so incredible, man. It's so beautiful. The dumbest people around arguing with each other here. The dumbest people around. The dumbest people around. Let's see. Don't want to check ABC. I want to check AP News. AP News is my news channel. Although it says sign in, I'm not a member, but it's still my news channel because they stole my name. AP. Live updates. 4 new updates. Let's see. Israel launched a wave of strikes across Iran. On Friday, they targeted its nuclear program and military sites, killing at least 3 top military officers and raising the prospect of an all-out war between the two bitter Middle East adversaries. It appeared to be the most significant attack Iran has faced since its 1980s war with Iraq. The strike came amid simmering tensions over Iran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. What to know? Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strikes hit Iran's main enrichment site, which is a nuclear site, the Natanz atomic facility, killed Iran's leading nuclear scientists, and targeted Iran's ballistic missile arsenal. Netanyahu said the strikes would continue for as long as it would take to remove this threat. Attack comes after weeks of escalating tensions. U.S. President Donald Trump had previously warned that Israel or America could launch airstrikes against Iranian nuclear facilities if negotiators failed to reach a deal on Iran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. Iran said on Thursday it would activate a 3rd nuclear enrichment facility shortly after UN watchdogs censored Iran for failing to comply with non-proliferation obligations. See, Iran said on Thursday it would activate a 3rd nuclear enrichment facility. So imagine this: we are in the middle of talks. We're in the middle of Israel and America, repeatedly with other nations coming together and trying to make Iran see reason, and trying to stop the Iranian Islamic regime, trying to figure out a nuclear deal solution. In the middle of it, Khamenei says, no, we reject this. Death to America. Death to England. Death to Israel. Blah, 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 blah. And on top of that says we are opening another nuclear enrichment facility. It's very obvious. There is no dealing with these people in a reasonable manner. What Israel has done today and is doing now, no matter if you like them or not, is very much an expected result of all of this. And Israel is not the aggressor here. But I sure hope that they put an end to not only the Islamic regime's military and nuclear capabilities, but also to the Islamic regime itself. I really hope so. Top military leaders have been killed. Among those killed were 3 of Iran's top military leaders who oversaw the entire armed forces. This is brutal, man. I shouldn't be laughing, I know, but among those killed were 3 of Iran's top military leaders who oversaw the entire armed forces, led the paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, and ran the Guard's ballistic missile program. They just took them all out, man. The region awaits a large-scale response from Iran, and nothing's going to happen. Iran launched over 100 drones toward Israel. Israel's military said it shot down most of them, but the military said the threat was not yet over because they're expecting more, but nothing ever comes. Israel is watching from the skies, and Iran and the Islamic regime of Iran is basically just sitting there, waiting for a moment to do something. Hey, don't talk trash about my leaderboard. Who's that? AP's leaderboard is like RGC leaders, non-existent. Yeah, I think they wrote that out slowly on YouTube, but they didn't give it to me yet because I'm a person of color, and YouTube is racist. They only prefer white people. And Wyckoff, this Johnny Cash number goes out to the IRGC. I can't click it, but I'm sure it's good. Veronica S just came back home from Ukraine. Good to see you again, AP. Congratulations on your journey of becoming a follower of Christ. Thank you so much, Veronica. I really appreciate that. Hope everything is well and good. Tell me more. Renee W says, my jizya for the most humble Mahdi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The most humble Mahdi appreciates you, jizya. The real Islamic dilemma, Sunni or Shia? Checkmate. This is true. Don't pick Shia. Shia is crazy. Sunni is generally more, has been more of the aggressor and the bad in the entire history of Islam. But the Shiites are crazier, man. They're seriously crazier. Crazier. Not so much Akbar today. Allahu Sabbar. North Star, there's something really effeminate about Muslims. Don't say that. That's very racist. You gave me strength since October 7th, says Iron Kippa. And I am delighted God give you strength now as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm Belina AP still a Muslim. Proof. Where's my goat? I know. I have to have my goat. How else can I release my urges? Just saying that sounds disgusting. But anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at that one footage of didn't I post it somewhere? Where did I post it, man? Didn't I post it nowhere? I posted it nowhere. Okay, let's look at that. Let me find it. Precision strike, Iran, Israel. Let's see. Because there are some good images of what exactly Israel has struck. Oh boy, here comes Abby Martin. Israel has assassinated scientists in Iran for years, while media justified it by lying about Iran's nuclear program. What are you talking about? Lying about Iran's nuclear program? They're openly admitting it, you idiot. They're they're openly admitting it. Absolute imbecile. US, Israel are the nuclear-armed aggressors trying to provoke war. They're literally trying to shut it down right now. If Israel was trying to provoke war, they wouldn't carry out a huge series of operations to basically shut down and cripple Iran's nuclear facilities. This is literally, this is so stupid. This is so ridiculously stupid. If Israel and America were trying to trigger a massive war, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now. They would actually declare war, or they would actually try to trigger it somehow. They wouldn't carry out an operation that takes out their entire military and nuclear facilities. Iran has the right to defend itself. Yeah, right. But has shown enormous restraint so far. Whatever horrors ensue, the United States is to blame for holding the world hostage and plunging us into the abyss. This woman is, by the way, she is not just some regular person who just has bad opinions. She is directly probably on payroll of Russia, and is always there on Russian TV when Russian TV needs a Western person to speak up for them and to say a word in defense of Iran, in defense of Assad, in defense of Russia, and so on. She has been there on their TV programs, on their news channels forever. Pretty sure she's one of those people who have prostituted themselves for some money against her own people. That's that. Let me see. Precision. I want to find some of those images here. So, no neighbor harmed, IRGC general dead. Okay, let's look at some of these images here. Let's look at some of these images right here. IRGC general dead, no neighbor harmed, mind-blowing intelligence and precision. So this is apparently or allegedly so it's either the home of an actual IRGC commander, or it was actually a place used for military strategic purposes. But it is it is an apartment inside an apartment building. As you can see here, the precision is just awesome. The building is largely unharmed. Israel fired a rocket that directly went into the apartment here and exploded, according to reports, in the bedroom, in the intended room, and killed the person that was meant to be killed. This is the precision strike carried out here. It's pretty awesome. So it was made sure that nobody else is hurt, nothing else is damaged. There is no need. We know exactly where the guy is right now. Send the rocket, we'll have it fly in there and explode directly in the room, kill the person. That's it. This comes, of course, with very high, very good, reliable intelligence and very good precision strike capabilities. Very, very good stuff. Pretty brutal, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of an Iranian military leader right now, seeing this kind of stuff. Can you imagine the anxiety that these people have? Here you have other places that are destroyed in different fashion. Here you have a section of this building taken out. Here you have a bigger damage. This doesn't look like an apartment building, or it doesn't look like a finished apartment building. I don't know. Here you have a part damaged. Here you have something damaged. Here you have this part damaged. So they, on top of bombing nuclear facilities and bombing directly, marked military facilities, they also directly targeted personnel in the places that they are, or targeted military operation arrangements inside buildings and so on. This is a surgical strike. It's as precise and surgical as it gets. Very, very well done. Very well done, Israel. I trained you very well. So anyway, let's look at the final, most recent update. Sirens sounding in Jerusalem area following projectile fire from Yemen. Now Yemen is firing against Israel. The Houthis are trying to fire and defend their Iranian daddies, but the Houthis can't stop doing drugs, so they will probably miss the target one more time again. The Houthis are very funny guys, man. There is something here which is actually quite hilarious about the Houthis this here. So earlier, this dummy account, Tori Fibs, posted this. This year, Israel has bombed Egypt, Palestine, Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Iran. 7 countries. Now, Israel never bombed Egypt. The last time Israel bombed Egypt was during a war in the 60s. So, my friend Egyptian atheist said Houthis fired a missile at Eilat, and because eating cut while being both inbred and retarded is not a very good idea. The missile hit a hospital in Egypt. This is indeed what happened. The Houthis are a bunch of insane people. Here is the news on that. Houthi missile lands in Egypt, IDF checking if it was fired at Israel. So imagine you have this terrorist organization that pretends to be a military that actually fires a missile at Israel, but it lands in Egypt at a hospital and leads to injured or dead Egyptians in Egypt. And Israel is not only unharmed, Israel also has to check, wait a minute, did they try to target us? They send out their missiles like, Allahu Akbar, this will show the Jews. and the Jews sit there and think, wait a minute, was that for us? I don't even know. Was it supposed to be for us? What was it supposed to hit us because it landed in Egypt? I don't know. These people are retarded, man. Completely retarded. Love from Israel. Love back to Israel. Iron Kippa. And Wyckoff, can you imagine being an Iranian forced to go to death chant rehearsal? One woman in the crowd looks like she's literally about to throw up. They look like mindless people. Batman Inc. Those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. George Santayana. Any way to edit them saying death to Islam in Arabic? Death to Islam. Do it. Lady of Rain made a super sticker. Thank you so much. Rini W. AP, when will the Zabiba song be on Spotify? So, my current song. Oh, I should promote my song today. I wanted to hire somebody to do some promotion for the song on TikTok or something. I don't know. So I'm going to put the link to my song into the chat here and pin it once again. My first song, Who Told You to Judge by It, also known as Islamic Dilemma, is currently out and is making rounds. So I want to wait for that to get enough of the attention and then put out the next song, which will be the Zabiba song. Boring politician. Happy Friday the 13th, Ridwan. Unlucky to some. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am having a very happy Friday 13th. Sheikh Mike Wingelinge. Iran raised red flag of revenge. It's over for Jews. 655 made a super sticker. Appreciate that very, very much. Very, very much. Batman Inc. You have all just lost the game. God bless. This is true. The super sticker from Batman. Super sticker was something that I can't even see on here. That's funny. Imhotep. It was just called The Mummy, right? Yeah, Mummy. The Mummy. Nuance is hard. Didn't you pray for stupidity while you were still in Islam? Yes, I did. I mean, not literally. I was just praying that I didn't literally pray for stupidity, but I later on called it praying for stupidity, because what I would do is I would have doubts, and then I would say to myself,
What doubts, man?
no, I would pray and would ask Allah to keep me a Muslim forever and never to allow me to change my mind. Allah didn't fulfill my prayers. Terrible guy. Mumu Joe made a super sticker. Appreciate it very, very much. Very, very much. It says, you are amazing. You are Mumu Joe. I am Bilina AP still using soundboard, but the people are...
But the people are retarded.
Of course I'm using a soundboard. What are you talking about? Last Spicy Ramen AP in 2023, Metropolitan Neophytus of Cyprus mentioned that this attack will happen, quoting an Ortho monk who reposed in 2016 who prophesied it. Everything he mentioned is happening with surgical precision. I would have to see that, and I don't want to speak on prophecies, but it's not really my thing to run with prophecies, honestly. But I would like to see how much of it actually happened exactly as said. I am Belina Mipelina. Did Abby get her falafel experience lately? Legamathiga and Abby Martin is not even fit to have bad opinions. Robin Hood tuned in late. Starting at the beginning, Israel should immediately ask for a ceasefire. Totally, absolutely. Paul, we're still waiting for your video acknowledging Palestinian suffering and semi-apologizing like you did on the live stream. Yeah, I was going to record a video about that, but then I didn't do it. But not because I owe it to you or to anybody, but rather just because I felt like doing it. Also, the video wasn't just acknowledging Palestinian suffering, because I have done that the entire time from the very beginning. And it semi-apologizing is also not what it was. It was actually apologizing for my stances or for certain things that I said in the past, which were very, very supportive and cheering on of brutal killings and all that. So that's what it was. If I didn't do it, it's because I haven't gathered my thoughts enough and haven't found the time or the moment to sit down to actually do that. But then again, hey, I don't owe you anything, Paul. You go mind your own business. How about that? Ida goes, and we still have a lot of work to do. God willing, we will be safe. I hope so. Pray for you. I'm Belina. Stop acting, AP. Just tell the truth that you are the real leader of Israel and pulling strings behind the curtain. This is true. Yosef, queers for Palestine, Allahu Gaybar al-Zut approved. Ida Rogozin, we are on high alert right now, maybe incoming soon. Yeah, stay safe. I believe you all have orders or calls by the Israeli government to stay in shelters and all that. So stay safe. Stay safe. You never know. Iran will try to retaliate. The retaliation will probably be pathetic, but you never know. One or two things might hit the ground and somebody's dog might get hurt. I don't know. And Wyckoff, Abby Martin's dead name is Abdul Muta. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Huh. Don't dead name her. Veronica, MOK was most of the time in a bunker. Guess what drones were coming towards Ukraine? Iranian drones from Russia? Probably. Wish you all the best and strength to people in Ukraine as well, as you're dealing with similar stuff. Last Spicy Ramen, don't see the same support for the Iran as for PlayStation in it. Where are the protests? Real prophecies, I approach them with caution and will share info. Thank you. Yeah, people say free PlayStation a lot when something happens in PlayStation, but people don't say free Iran. That's funny. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I will be live later with Dawood once again. And we will talk more about, I think, Domi Robinson. Until then, make sure to check out my beautiful song called Islamic Dilemma, which is taking off now, and you can also find it on Spotify and Apple Store and everywhere else. Or you can also just listen to it on YouTube. The link to that is in the chat pinned, but part of me just wants to play it and then leave. How about that? I'll just do that. I'll see you all again. Until next time, as always, listen to the goat sound, which says,
stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam.
Fantastic. All right. See y'all.
Tell me now, my brother, why do you say my book's been changed when your own book told you to read it? Something don't add up. They say the Quran straight from above, every word from the mouth of God's love. But then it tells me the gospel is light, and to judge by what's in it, that's right. So I open it up and read what it says. Jesus died and he rose from the dead, but your book says no, he never died. So which one's true? Somebody lied. Who told you to judge by if it's broken? Why call it light then claim it was stolen? You can't play both sides with one story. Your claim crashes down in all its glory. Surah 5 says to follow the word given to Christians straight from the Lord. Surah 10 says if you're unsure, ask the people who knew it before. But our gospel says Jesus is Lord, crucified, risen, that's what's stored. And our scriptures older than yours, written down long before Muhammad's tours. So tell me, friend, what do you choose? If you pick both, then both you lose. If the gospel is true, the Quran is wrong. If it's false, then why does it play along? And if God's word can never be changed, who corrupted it and who arranged? And why does your book lean on mine while calling its heart a faulty sign? Who told you to judge by it if it's broken? Why call it light then claim it was stolen? You can't praise the map then toss out the way. You build on the rock, then dig it away. Now some say only part is true, but your book never said which part to view. Is it Matthew or is it John? Tell me which verse to lean upon. But truth ain't served by picking and choosing. That's not faith, that's just confusing. You either believe it or say it's a lie, but you can't stand in both camps and try. Or are you saying it's a trap and the prophet got it all mismatched, and the message built on contradiction, and the claim lacks solid conviction? Told you to judge by it if it's broken? Why you call it light then claim it was stolen? Can't hold the sword and preach about peace. Can't affirm the word then call it deceased. It's either from God or it's a fraud. The house won't stand if the walls are flawed. So tell me now, what will you choose? Truth doesn't lose when it's under review. Our word stood firm through fire and storm, while your book, well, it can't stay warm. Truth is one, it doesn't twist. This is the paradox. You can't